And let's try it again. All right. I'm not sure what I was saying, but yeah, the food prep was definitely a big thing. So you guys, if you guys are kind of just hopping back into this, sorry that I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties. Not sure what's going on with my internet, but okay. So when you guys are having a shitty day, what led you guys to this shitty day? What was it that you guys were lacking the day before, that maybe you didn't have enough food? What happened the day before? Did something trigger an emotion? Did something irritate you? Did you guys have a stressful day? Did your kids cause you to want to bang your head on the wall? Whatever it is for you guys, you got to really kind of tap into that. Now, here's the thing. Here's the absolute key to all of this stuff. You guys have to own your truth, okay? You guys have to own what you guys are putting in your mouth. You guys have to own what you guys choose to do every day. That could be with life. That could be with food. That could be with fitness. That could be with mindset. That could be with everything. You guys have to own your truth. If you guys keep shoving things under a freaking rug, you're going to run out of rug to put stuff under, okay? And then eventually the food doesn't become a thing to make you feel better. It becomes a thing to just to get through life, because it's the only thing that will give you 5 minutes of maybe pleasure while you guys are hating yourselves, while you guys are putting this stuff in your mouth. Okay? It becomes a habit. It becomes almost an addiction. And you guys, that's how it kind of starts. So owning the truth about what you guys are putting in your mouth. If you guys are having a bad day with diet or with nutrition, or if whatever you guys are having a bad day with, you guys have to be truthful with yourselves, because nobody else will be, okay? Everybody's going to be like, well, whatever, I didn't even notice. You guys have to own that. You guys have to be decisive and say, okay, I ate a bag of chips. I had a cheeseburger. I went to McDonald's and had their fries. I did this. I did this. I did this. Now, why did I do that? Okay? Owning the truth about it. If you guys are eating a bag of chips and you guys buy that big freaking bag and you guys ate all of it, don't say I just had 4 handfuls. Own the truth. Own it, own it, own it. What are you guys afraid of? This is the biggest one. What are you guys afraid of if you don't own the truth? If you don't tell yourself the truth? What is it that is going to trigger that? Is it because you're going to feel like you failed? Is it going to be because you feel like you sabotaged your day at the gym? What are you afraid of? That's what the biggest question I want you guys to ask yourselves right now. What are you afraid of if you admit yourself the truth? And that can go again with your personal life, with your fitness life, with your everything life, your career life, your relationship life, your whatever, okay? All of those little 8 points that I'm going to talk about later on in life that you guys have to face the truth in, okay? Another thing too, when you guys are eating, like if you've had a bad day of nutrition, what are you trying to fix when you guys are binge eating? Or what are you guys trying to fix if you guys always go to the not so healthy options? What are you guys trying to make feel better inside of you, okay? That's another thing that I want you guys to start cluing in on, all right? You guys have to remember that the journaling and this awareness and that this getting jacked challenge, it's all about awareness. And if we don't create awareness on these triggers, then the habits are going to continue. We have to start becoming aware and telling the truth so that that highway of neural pathway that you always go to gets erased and you start to create a different habit, a different way to do stuff, okay? So if you guys aren't being truthful with what you're putting in your mouth, if you guys are always trying to fill a void with what you guys are trying to eat, then you guys are always going to create that same pattern, and you guys are always going to go down that same road, and you guys are always going to do the same thing, because that's the only thing your brain knows how to do. Your brain only knows what it knows. And if we don't start training it and teaching it new different ways, then it's always going to go back to that pattern. You're always going to go back to binge eating if you've been stressed out. You're always going to order that pizza if you've had a shitty day. You're always going to go to McDonald's if you didn't food prep because you have nothing else to eat and you're so hungry you need to eat something, okay? So those are the things that you have to become aware of, and the only way you guys can become aware of that stuff is by telling yourselves the truth, all right? Another thing we can talk about is all the emotions after you've eaten, all the emotions during the day that when you guys don't food prep, all the emotions of stuff that we quote unquote should be doing. And it's probably guilt. It's probably guilt is the biggest thing. I just put this in my mouth. Now I feel guilty because of blah, 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 blah. Okay? You guys have to realize, and I'm going to just say this kind of in a general term, when you guys are feeling guilt about something, it's because there's usually, and I'm not going to say this for every case, but usually there's a feeling or a belief of unworthiness in our experience that we forget. So we have this experiences in our life, and it forgets that we are actually lovable. The guilt that we have is a shame. We're shaming ourselves into something, and really at the end of the day, we're fucking human beings, guys. We're people. We're just people. And you have to remember that you are lovable, and that when you guys self-sabotage and you guys go to these binge eating things, and when you guys are kicking yourselves in the face because you had a shitty day, you guys are kicking this little inner person inside of you, and you're telling it that it's not worth the love, okay? So when you guys have that feeling of guilt, and this, I'm not saying this for everybody, but this is definitely a thing that I see, that you guys are forgetting that basic truth that you are lovable and that you guys are gonna slip up. And remember, it's a freaking marathon. This isn't a sprint. And nutrition for the rest of your life is never going to be something that's going to be perfect every day of your life. That's another thing. Stop expecting perfection. Just become aware of those triggers, okay? Another realization for you guys might be with the weight gain, or with trying to do weight loss, or with, let's see, what else is there? Whatever it is. There's two things of why people don't lose weight. One is there's a fear of success. And you're like, what? Fear of success? Why would I be fear of succeeding and getting my goals? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. There's a lot of reasons why I was fear of actually having my gym at the new place, of having Transcona CrossFit. I mean, I have to work more hours. I have to pay a fuckload more rent. I have to juggle being a mom, being a coach, being me, being a pet owner, being this, being that. And to me, there was a lot of fear of all the extra work that was going to have to be done. But in the end of it, my goal, my dream was way more worth it. So eventually you kind of overcome, or you kind of step through that fear. Now, with the fear of losing weight, what usually happens is we put the weight on as a protection, right? We protect ourselves from the world. And a lot of people, we eat because that's the one thing we can control. So if something triggered yourself as a kid, that was the only thing that you were able to kind of find solace in, then that's kind of where you end up going with that, right? So a lot of people who fear success, what happens when you lose the weight, okay? What happens? Well, people are going to see me. They're going to see me for who I really am. So the weight that I have on right now is going to be a complete protective shield so that people don't see me. I don't have to be vulnerable, and people don't have to see that the real me, okay? Those are two huge things. Another thing is, am I still going to be accepted by my peers? Because now my peers only know me as this overweight person. Are my peers going to be mad at me because I lost the weight? Oh, it's so easy for you because you just do this, this, and this, and this. Well, fuck yeah, you do this, this, and this, and that's how you've lost the weight. But a lot of people have that fear of judgment from their friends, because now they almost feel like they're not going to be included in that, okay? So it's kind of relearning a whole new group of friends, which I've seen happen, and I've seen people, and I've heard people talk about it, and they've talked to me about it. And that's a big thing. Another thing is when you guys shed the weight, who are you really? Who are you really? Because you've put this weight on as almost like a shield, and you kind of lose yourself in that, and then you kind of go, shit, now I've lost the weight, who the fuck am I? And then that's what happens, and we've never fixed the past, and we've never fixed those triggers. So what ends up happening, we lost 50 pounds, now we've gained 100, okay? So you've put 50 pounds back on because of that protective shield. So we need to become aware of that, and we need to fix those problems, and we need to fix those glitches, not glitches, but those pathways, and then scratch the fuck out of those things out, and then create new neural pathways of, I am successful, I am vulnerable and open and authentic, and this is who I really am, and I'm gonna fucking own every goddamn minute of the day because this is how I want to live my days, okay? So it's creating that confidence and creating that want and creating that fuck it attitude, and it really comes with that fuck it attitude, and you really need to have that, and really want to have that if you guys want to see that success and that change, okay? a fear of admitting any emotional traumatic experience. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that stuff when you guys were kids, but there's a lot to be said about why people are overweight or why people are drug addictives or addictions and alcohol and food addictions and blah, 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 blah. There's something that's happened where you guys have found some kind of solace in that. And if that's a big thing, and if there's a big traumatic experience that has happened to you, it might be a really good idea to kind of maybe start thinking about talking to someone about that, someone that can actually help you with that. Because if you guys are holding on to this weight and you guys are hanging on to the stuff from the past because you don't know how to let it go, go see someone that can help you fix that and get that. And you guys are going to feel a whole different life and a whole different world. Okay. And you got to find someone that's qualified for that. And you guys have to get into those things, and you guys have to, you got to, like, again, go back to that admitting the truth and owning it. What happened back then was A, not your fault because it was, you were a kid, okay? B, it is a choice now of keeping it under the rug or letting it come to the surface and accepting it, dealing with it, forgiving it, and then letting it go, okay? So you got to go through all of that things, and you have to go through those things to let your soul be what it came here to be, okay? Another problem with when we own the truth or want to own the truth, or why we end up going back to old methods, is a fear of failure. It's better to not try at all because we've tried this before and we've just decided, like, we've gained, we've lost, we've gained, we've lost. You don't trust yourself anymore when it comes to specific things, and those are huge components of stuff, okay? When we're facing the truth, we have to admit a lot of things. We have to admit why, we have to admit the wheres, and we have to admit the what's causing all these self-sabotages. And when we have to own that stuff, it's very, very scary for a lot of people, okay? And again, it could go back to those childhood traumatics. It can go back to a lot of things. When I was a kid, and I'm just going to throw this out there, not a lot of people know this. The people really close to me know this, but not a lot of people do. When I was a kid, and I moved in from the country, we were fucking broke ass kids, like broke. And we came in, and I got bullied to the point where I got sat on, you know, those pillars where parking posts. Some kid had sat me there and was like, oh, well, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna be friends. Well, he got all his friends, and they ended up like tossing rocks at me and, you know, calling me as every fucking horrible word in the book, basically. And then that really killed a lot of who I was when I was that age. I think I was 10 or 11 years old, and that killed a lot of who I was. I became a big time introverted person. I became like, well, I'm not gonna have friends because I'm awkward. I came in from the country. Maybe I'm not supposed to have friends that are from the city. It was awful. And that took a lot of time, and I was only really able to heal a lot of that, you know, in the last little bit. And it's huge, and it's scary to go back to that time because we closed it off for a reason, right? Because it hurts, it sucks, it's having to deal with shit that you don't want to fucking deal with anymore. If you don't want to deal with shit anymore, then face it. Because you guys keep throwing shit in the closet. Well, your closet's gonna fill out, guys, and it's gonna fucking spill everywhere else, okay? So, that's gonna be it. I've got like a whole freaking other list. I'm gonna save some of that for later. But if you guys have any questions, and if you guys really want to create some kind of clarity in your life, if you guys want those light bulbs shining in areas of darkness in your lives, then you guys have to become honest with the situation that you're in. It is seriously a truth, and my dog is a nutcase. It's seriously owning the truth, and seriously just finding that value in yourself, that you guys can do this, and that you guys are worth forgiving and letting it go, okay? The more you guys can forgive, the more you can throw love at that situation, the more you can accept everything that has been, and to know that you guys are worth having this amazing future. You guys just, it's so worth the leap. It's so worth the leap. If you guys need extra help, if you guys need those counselors, if you guys need those, let's talk and let's see what we can do for you guys and see if we could find you guys some help. If you guys want a couple of just basic life coaching kind of things, I've opened up myself for a few sessions today. I've already got Candace. I have one more. I'll open up 2 more for tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon, and then Friday I'll take a few more. If you guys just want some kind of clarity, maybe you just need to talk, maybe you just have something that you want to say, maybe you just want to know how to create a goal, well, you can get me for half an hour, okay? And I'm going to give you guys that because I want to see every one of you guys succeed, and I adore every one of you guys, and I see what's happening, and I don't want you guys to get too caught up in your head about this whole nutrition thing, because you have to remember, I mean, if you're living till 100 years old, guys, that's a long fucking time to be stressing out over food, okay? So let's get on the horn. I want to see the time slots fill up if you guys are interested in that, and everybody else, if you guys have comments, concerns, or just something you guys want to share, I would love to see everything you guys have on the Facebook page. I know this video was a little bit longer. I am sorry, but I'm going to go crash for about 20 minutes and then go coach my 9 o'clock class. Okay, I love y'all. Bye.